Hello, my name is Tofpik. I'm Head of Technical Analysis and Senior Markets Analyst at ADM Investor Services International Limited, and here is your daily technical analysis of foreign exchange markets.
Euro-dollar. A third bearish black crow yesterday with a new low not seen since early November 2023. This is a continuation from last week's weekly key reversal down. Prices punched down through the very recent base of the wide congestion, seen between roughly 106.36 to the May 2020 low at 107.66, dating from February to July this year, as well as the lows of April this year. Overall, the action since late September to date is a small descending scallop pattern, with potential down to a primary target X in the 106.15 zone, and possibly as far as the secondary hardest to reach target X1 down in the 103.25 zone. Yesterday, target X was reached. The next supports are the April 2017 low at 105.68 and the combined February and March 2017 lows at 104.92. Now, so far today, a little lower, piercing congestion at 106.13 and the lows of last April again, as well as yesterday's low, ever so slightly there, but then pulling back up over the 106.13 and looking like moving from an indecisive doji cross to a possible hammer pattern at the moment. Cable, aka sterling against the US dollar. A bearish long black Mariposa yesterday and third bearish black crow. This was a continuation from last week's weekly key reversal down. Prices punched down through a number of significant supports, notably the November 2020 low at 128.52, the gold slowly rising long moving average currently at 128.19, and the 50% Fibonacci line of the October 23 to September 2024 move at 127.34, as well as just below the nascent, broken, and possibly repaired October to date lower bear channel line, currently 127.22, though the market did close back up over the lower bear channel line and the 50% Fibonacci line. Below, we now have the 50% Fibonacci line, the June 2016 to September 22 move at 126.99, and the September 2020 low at 126.72, which ties in with the more recent August lows. Beyond this, and we have the late June lows in the 126.10 zone. Now, so far today, a small dip down below the 50% Fibonacci line at 127.34 and towards the lower bear channel line, but then pulling back up and looking right now like possibly either an indecisive spinning top, indecisive doji cross, possibly even a hammer. Euro sterling. A reactionary bullish engulfing pattern yesterday, if only just, based on a combination of the February 2020 low at 82.79 and the 2020 low at 82.74, and pushing up over the October 24 low at 82.93 and back within the very recent congestion zone that stretches from the August 2022 low at 83.38 down to the October this year low at 82.93. Indeed, prices halted at the top end of this congestion on the move up, just short of the August 22 low. The question still hangs over this market as to whether we have a late September to date based cat's ears pattern, typically a bearish pattern. Now, the move up has alleviated the pressure for this, especially with now only the single close below the October 2021 low, but it has not dispelled it completely. Now, so far today, capped again by the August 2022 low right now, but not venturing much back down either and looking like an indecisive spinning top right now. US dollar against the Japanese yen. A second bullish white soldier yesterday and a new high, not seen since late July. The move up is a continuation from the outside week seen last week, and the move away from the base formed by the bright red middle time, currently at 152.52, of the very flat late December 23 to early August 24 bullish shift pitchfork. The lesser Fibonacci line also at 152.22. The very new lower trend line, currently at 152.18, of the October to date ascending wedge pattern, plus the combined October 22 high at 151.94 and November 23 high at 151.93. With just below these the flat lining gold long moving average, currently 151.79, and the old August 1990 high at 151.58. Topside we have the upper trend line of the ascending wedge pattern. That's currently 155.47, and the old June 1990 high at 155.78. After this, we are seemingly in a pretty free area overhead, barring some recent highs at 157.76 and 157.86, until the old May 1990 high at 159.61. Now, so far today, a fresh move higher, though still within the ascending wedge pattern. US dollar against the CNH, the offshore Chinese yuan. A third bullish white soldier yesterday, and a continuation from the weekly key reversal up and the break higher last week over the bright red neckline, currently at 7:15.16 of the late August to late October reverse head and shoulders pattern. The market tested up to the dark blue extension of the upper trend line for the January to early April ascending triangle pattern, currently at 724.91, penetrating it but failing to close over it. Going back to the reverse head and shoulder pattern, this has a primary target X in the 727.23 area and a secondary hard to reach target X1 up in the 732.20 area. Now, so far today, a slightly lower open, but a test up to the dark blue upper trend line extension, but yet not managing to penetrate it. And then we dropped lower, below yesterday's low, and possibly eyeing the flatlining gold long moving average below. US dollar against the Mexican peso. A third bullish white soldier yesterday, with prices pushing up once again over the dark blue middle time, currently 20.52.04 of the recent mid-August to mid-September bullish shift pitchfork, as well as the September 22 high at 20.57.65, and eventually closing right on this September 22 high. Apart from last week's high at 20.80.38, we now have overhead the big 50% Fibonacci line of the April 2020 to April 24 move at 20.99.90, plus the nearby July 2022 high at 21.05.01, and then the March 22 high at 21.46.25. Additionally to these, we have the bright red middle time, currently 21.09.56 of the very important breached but seemingly repaired big picture April to July bullish shift pitchfork, as well as the dark blue upper time, currently at 21.16.25. And so far today, a slight attempt higher, but then a move back down below the September 22 high and down through the dark blue middle time, though not by much.
Thank you for listening. This short version broadcast gives essential market patterns and consequences. Please be aware of the risk disclaimer posted both at the front and the back of this broadcast. Copyright is Eddie Tofpik and ADM Investor Services International Limited. And here comes the final important bit.